the main part that I like to play is talk about pipeline safety. You know, we know that the incidence of these explosions are minimal, but they're still a reality. They still happen occasionally. And to me, the most significant thing that people don't understand about these lines comes down to PSI, pounds per square inch. This line is projected to have a maximum operating pressure of 1440 PSI. And one of the things that we've done is come up with two very viable studies that have been done. One is by the Gas Research Institute, and the other is done by a well-known Dr. Rhodes, who's looked at this specific question of, you know, what are the consequences of one of these lines exploding. One of these studies has a very nice chart in it where you can go and you can look up the size of the pipe and the pressure, and it will project what the blast zone radius looks like. And basically this blast zone is an area that pretty much everything will be destroyed. It's a distance that the fire department also cannot get within if one of these lines explodes. For a line this size and pressure, the Gas Research Institute projects that that zone is about 1,000 feet, maybe 1,100 feet. The second study done by this Dr. Rhodes, if you look at his information, it's very technical, but he projects about 1,500 feet, or about a 500-meter blast zone. To help confirm those numbers, you can actually look at real pipelines that have exploded. And a good example that you may be familiar with was an incident that just happened on December 11, 2012 in West Virginia. This is a post-accident report. This was a 900 PSI line, 20-inch in diameter. So about half the size of this pipeline, but 900 PSI. And Brandon, if you'll hit that video, I just want you to see, you have to see to understand what one of these things look like when they explode. This was actually where it happened underneath Interstate 77. It closed the road down, actually melted the road. This blew up several homes. Fortunately, nobody was killed because they weren't home at the time. But this is a pipeline, and if you look at these studies that say what the blast zone for a pipeline like this is, it says about 350 feet. Now the actual incident report...
Can you get the audio too?
Yeah,
because that's really...
I mean, this is like a jet engine. This particular incident also had a control room and it had shut-off valves in it. But this particular incident, by the time the control room operator understood that there was an incident, even though he had received phone calls telling him that, he didn't believe it at first. It took him over an hour to shut valves off and shut this pipeline down. But I think you have to visually see this. I don't like to use this as a scare tactic, but you have to understand the magnitude. Now, picture a pipeline twice this size and another 500 pounds higher in the city of Greene next to houses and schools. Would you like this? Would you like to live within 5 or 10 feet of one of these pipelines? So, you know, I don't think we need to overemphasize that. I'd like to go ahead and stop that.